It is unbelievable how much snow came down.
Everybody, you need help with the coffee!
These conditions are quite a bit different than last month.
This is the stuff we live for.
Whoa! Going fast, buddy. It looks like Alaska out there, but we're hitting the water.
This is the first dam out of the last 3 dams we have left to portage. We're gonna hit Lake Francis Cape, which starts right here.
We get to have fun sometimes and go canoeing through mazes of what used to be forest. My name is Brian, and this is my best buddy, and his name is Brian too.
Out of all the water in the world, only 1% is fresh water. It's all we got, and we want to explore all of it.
So we've decided to start with a trip that's never been done before. A 4,000-mile journey from Milk River, Alberta, all the way down to New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, and did I mention we're gonna do it in a canoe?
Think we're crazy? You're right. We're the paddling Bryans.
We need to leave Nebraska. We need to head on to the next state. The cold's coming in, and we've got about 444 miles to make it down to Glasgow, Missouri.
Considering that the Missouri River is flowing a lot better right now, I think it should take us just shy of 2 weeks to make it down there.
Well, the wind, it never lets up on this trip. It's been one of our biggest obstacles, especially in the big lakes, and we decided at one point, you know what, it was time to take advantage of it.
This Tornado Alley thing is, well, it's named appropriately, so we're gonna build a frickin' sail.
Watch out, Brett! That's a big mast.
One lucky thing about my buddy that I decided to do this trip with, Brian's pretty handy. He's really good at fixing things, putting things together, lashing wood, doing pretty much anything, you know? He's a very skilled handyman.
I'm pretty handy with rigging, wood, plastic, so I think we'll get her done.
How you feeling, buddy?
Good. We're about to go sailing, bro.
It's amazing what Brian can do with a tree trunk and a piece of plastic.
There's the wind. Oh yeah, buddy.
I thought it was a good idea, but it really didn't work. Well, because you need a tailwind. We didn't have a rudder, we didn't have anything. You need tailwind straight exactly where you're going, and rivers do this, right? So it works 10% of the time.
It was a really good idea, but didn't really work, and now it's time to pack it up and get back to the real way. Start paddling again.
Oh boy, it's getting thick out here. Man, I could almost go skating on this ice.
You know, we used to worry about the river drying up, but now we're worried about the river freezing up.
If we don't have to figure out how to put skates on the canoe, we're just gonna paddle.
I don't believe this at all. This was not really anything that we had planned for.
Even though we are pretty far south, it's freezing a lot colder than we thought it would get this far south. So
With this cold setting in too, there is the chance that one of us gets sick. Neither one of us has got sick this entire 4 months that we've been out here, which is great. But somebody getting sick would cause a huge delay for us and potentially make us lose more days and spend more time out in the cold. So, I mean, that's another little worry of mine.
at this point, this trip means, it's basically a test, like a personal test of what we're capable of doing. It's standing up to our word, to what we said we would do. It's I don't know, the greatest accomplishment of our lives right now. I mean, to keep going, to make it, just what we're doing out here is, it's the biggest thing we've ever done.
We both said that we were gonna go to New Orleans or die trying, and I mean, until it gets really serious, we're both sticking to that one.
We took a little shortcut around one of these islands on the Missouri because we kind of got a little bit fed up of just cruising down the Missouri.
We've been seeing these little creeks run off of the Missouri River, and I mean, everything's flowing downstream from here, so it could basically only lead back to the Missouri River. So we decided to take one of these, and for fun, we shot rapids backwards.
But what we're gonna do now is hit a section of rapids backwards, because it's a lot more fun.
We rode the rapids backwards because we decided it was one thing that neither of us had ever done in a canoe.
Backside hard, backside hard.
We crossed off a lot of things on our list during this trip about things we'd done, hadn't done in a canoe, but going down rapids backwards was just another fun thing.
Well, it's good that I'm not even looking at it.
You know, when you're in a canoe all day, you come up with pretty dumb ideas of things to do.
Backside starboard. Alright, 360, backside starboard hard. Frontside fork.
And that's what we call reverse rapids.
Yeah.
In the end, we're not exactly sure whether or not this was a shortcut, but it was a whole lot more fun because we spend every day canoeing down the Missouri River, and it's the same thing. It's one bend after another, one point after another, and this way we actually get to feel like we're back on a little river, like the Milk River, and it's a lot more fun, and you get to find little things like that, those rapids that we just hit.
You know, it's really quite amazing that we've made it this far with all the obstacles that have been put in front of us, a whole bunch of things that we weren't really planning for and weren't really expecting, and I'm still amazed that we both still have the will to keep going.
There's been a lot of times that I thought that we would never make it this far, and then there's a lot of times that I thought that, yeah, for sure we'd make it this far. For sure we're going to make it all the way. I mean, it goes up and down, the highs are high, the lows are lows, so it's hard to say, but I guess, we're going to make it or die trying, and so far we're here. We thought we were going to float down a river and drink beer for 6 months, but this is actually a hell of a lot more challenging than than we'd ever imagined. It's crazy.
And the stresses of having these like unforeseen things happening coupled with, physical exhaustion and everything else, we just it's tough. It's taking a toll more than I could ever imagined.
I'm making some coffee right now. Bry's in the tent, pretty damn sick.
I'm sick. I think I caught the flu. I don't know. I don't feel good.
He barely ate any of his meal last night, and usually we're fighting over the last little bit. He was in and out of the tent all night, and he usually never wakes up, so I think he's got the flu pretty bad.
Being sick on the river in a tent, it's one thing to be sick at home. It's another thing to be sick on a weekend camping trip. But when you have no chance of going home in the near future, being sick really sucks.
We're outside all the time. It's cold. It's always cold now. Snowing, we get wet, so I guess our bodies are just a little more susceptible to getting sick, so it was inevitable. One of us was gonna get sick soon enough.
It's a pain in the ass is what it is. It's never fun being sick. It's especially not fun when you can't go inside. But I mean, it's not going to do anything more but delay us. I'm not really scared of that because everything's a delay.
I'm just making some chicken noodle soup for Bry. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. He says he really isn't feeling that much better. But to get some warm soup in him is probably a good idea.
We've been carrying the chicken soup with us since we started the journey. I think we bought it in Edmonton. And you know what? We finally found a reason to use it. I was pretty happy that we actually had it with us.
Well, this is pretty well ready if you want to give it a shot.
Brian was teasing me a little about being sick, you know. Brian likes to bust my balls about those kind of things, but he spoke a little too soon, because you know what? He got it. There goes Brian again, puking. He's a puker, that Brian. Man, that guy loves to puke.
Now we're both sick. You know, we're both sick right now, and it's pretty miserable out, but we have no choice. We got to keep going. We got to keep heading south.
We sucked it up, got up, made breakfast, and headed out on the river towards Kansas City.
I can't wait to see Kansas City, man. It's got to be the second or third largest city we go through.
Coming through the downtown district of Kansas City. We're hoping to be here a little earlier. It's about 2 p.m. right now, and there's no way we're camping in a big city like this.
We were just so excited to hit Kansas City. Neither of us had ever been to Kansas. And, you know, it was the first real big city that we hit on our trip.
Kansas City, man!
We finally got to Kansas City. We're finally like within reach of a hospital, within reach of people. There's a bit of a safety feeling going here too.
I don't know, we've been out in the bush for a long time. It's something else to see something like this. Kansas City is a big city. It's really cool. That's Kansas City behind us. We're headed this way. That means we're leaving Kansas. We are now entering the state of Missouri, which we will be crossing, we're headed directly east for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks directly east, which means we won't be tracking any distance south. We won't be getting out of the cold.
We got no choice but to bear bear Mother Nature and the temperatures we're dealing with. We're stuck in this for a while.
We're on our first day crossing the state of Missouri. They were calling for rain all day. Lucky for us, the temperature never made it above the freezing mark, so we're getting snow. They had a real cold snap come in tonight. It lasts for 3-4 days. It's called an Alberta Clipper because it comes off the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. It comes all the way down to this part of this side of Kansas through Missouri, and it's bringing in some really cold weather. So had we gotten rain all day, we would have been in big trouble because everything would have been wet for tonight when it drops to about, I think they're calling for 8 Fahrenheit. Oh man, it's cold.
There's freaking snow sticking to my beard. We're in a goddamn blizzard, and we're out here trying to film the stupid thing. The lens is fogging up. Bry's trying to fix that. I'm trying to keep us straight down the river, and canoeing solo in a 20-foot canoe isn't the easiest thing to do either, but it had to be shown. People have to see this.
Teach me to wage war against Mother Nature.
The whole experience is it's probably a little overwhelming because I think, if I recall correctly, I start going a little crazy at the end.
Wasted away in Margaritaville, I am. We just be paddling, it's no problem really for us. Little snow, little rain, little hail, little sleet, little freezing rain, high winds, bring it on.
We're preparing for the coldest weather we've seen yet.
We were listening on the weather radios, and we know that a cold front's coming in. It's gonna get pretty bad, so we gotta get ourselves layered up and ready for the cold.
The worst thing that could happen is that we get too cold to the point that someone gets sick again. And we've already had to deal with that We don't want to have to do that again, so as long as we're smart about it, we keep as warm and dry as possible, we'll be all right.
It's good that there's a lot of wood around here, because you know what? Without these fires, we wouldn't be able to stay alive in this weather.
We were lucky enough to have a couple of to have some coals this morning. Me and Brian both try and get up a couple times during the night, put a little bit more wood on the fire, just so we can have a bit of coals to get started in the morning.
It's pretty unbearable lots of the time anyways, but we're surviving, we're pushing on, we're sleeping about 2 hours a night and making gigantic fires. I mean, Bry's pretty afraid usually that I'm going to burn down the state, whichever one we're in, but you know, big fires, minimal sleep, and just keep pushing on. Work a little harder, break a sweat, keep going.
We crossed down from Decatur down through
Okay, you're supposed to be talking about the cold front coming in.
We were shooting some interviews. It was kind of cold, a bit miserable. Brian was a little upset that I wasn't getting to the point with what I was talking about. So we started to argue a bit.
we hit some cold days.
Okay, you want to do it without the swearing or what? You want to do this later?
And then it kind of escalated a bit.
You're supposed to be talking about a cold front coming in. It's pretty simple.
You know what, Brian? You're
I'm
pissing me
feeling
off. Nancy,
Yeah, okay,
you!
keep calling me names. Yeah.
Here,
Look,
take
come.
this, fix this. It, here. Take it. Here's the camera. Go throw it off.
Why don't you come back and punch me in the teeth then?
Why?
Well, because that's what you
punch
said.
you in the teeth? Don't be a take care of you. Smarten the up. You think you can do something about it? You!
You know what? You can always win the fight. I don't
Then why are you
fucking...
grabbing at me?
Because you're the one that's saying this shit, man.
Finish your thing. I'll be in the
It was amazing that in 6 months we didn't get into more fights than we did, but it was bound to happen at least once.
We smartened up pretty quick after it though, because can't beat up my helping hand out here, right?
We have so many other battles to fight out here against the cold, the high winds, you know, tracking distance. There's a million other things that we have to be fighting rather than each other, I think. Well, right on, bud.
Yeah.
What's said is said, it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
One little fight here and there didn't kill us, just kept us stronger and closer together.
Which side is it on?
Well, we finally get a beautiful sunny day and we're traveling along the river and I see something up in the water ahead.
Grab it.
We get up closer to it and it's a duck.
It is a real duck. And it's still got its eyes. We're gonna eat it.
This one time I read in a survival book that if an animal still has its eyes, it's not rotten yet, so you could eat it. So Bride checked out the duck, it had eyes, and we proceeded to eat it.
Okay, well, let's start dissecting.
We're not gonna turn away any fresh meat. I'm fed up with Spam and corned beef, so.
How the hell are you supposed to?
It ended up being Brian's job to butcher it because Brian does like, you know, cutting things up and and playing with messy things, so I let him go right ahead with that one.
Man, this is tough. We might be having canned meat, bud.
I spent so much time cleaning this thing and figuring it out. I mean, I haven't cleaned too many ducks before there. And it turned out, I mean, no wonder it was left in the water there. It was full of shotgun pellets. It was all just useless meat.
There's pellets all here. Aw, I was really looking forward to duck.
Unfortunately, in the end, when Brian finally got it cut open and you know, started doing his autopsy, we found multiple bullet wounds in it and tiny little shotgun pellets. And we quickly realized why the hunter threw it overboard. It wasn't good to eat. You know, we're actually starting to get used to this weather. We're feeling pretty good now.
We got a bit of a groove going on, and you know, we'll just keep plowing ahead.
Oh! Full moon.
It's getting close to Christmas, and right now we can't really stop at a store and go get our family some gifts. So we put together a little tape each, and we said a couple nice things for them.
I just wanted to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. It's gonna be my first Christmas away from home.
Thanks for all of your love and support. It's definitely been great, and next year you guys better watch out, because I'm definitely gonna eat at least 2 years worth of dessert and as much turkey as I can fit.
There's nothing more important than family, and you guys all mean a lot to me. I love you guys. I miss you a lot. And broadcast next time from New Orleans, Louisiana. Be there in about a month. We're in Glasgow, Missouri. Another one done. Decatur, Nebraska was the halfway mark, and Glasgow, Missouri, right here on the other side of the river, that's just shy of 2/3. Now that was done in just over 2 weeks, so a sixth of the journey in just over 2 weeks. We're starting to move.